The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the disability meeting for June 2020. Let me just quickly take the rolls. Representing the PBA.
PBA, Joe Alejandro.
DEA.
Kenny Sparks.
SBA.
Anthony Burley.
LBA.
Lou Turco.
CEA.
Chris Monahan.
Commissioner of Finance.
Bill Dukes.
Representing the Mayor.
Cynthia Collins, designee for Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Susanna Vickers, designee for Controller Scott Stringer.
John Dorsa, alternate designee for Controller Scott Stringer.
And I've got Stephanie Zimberg here representing the PC. The actuary.
Sherry Chan for the
Hello, this is Dr. Kleinman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Chief. Morning, Chief.
Morning.
Did we get that? Brian, did you chime in? Representing the law department.
Hi, do you want me to chime in? I'm here. I'm here. Can people hear me?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Thanks.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we're also going to read out who we also have present.
Gary DeRosa, John Flynn, Jeff Ward.
Gary DeRosa present.
Mark Martino, myself, Nicole Jambrisi. We have John Flynn, Angelo Trantopolitis, Bob Sense-Cassette, Manuel Salas, Hansa Randall, and Stanley Thomas.
Okay.
Do we have a net on? Is the net on, just to make sure?
Yes, and that is on.
And Nicole, we also have Damian Lawher from the Department of Finance Law Department.
Yeah, we got him already.
I think I mispronounced his last name. I apologize.
Okay, Joe. Joe, you're on mute.
Okay. Onto the agenda for the public session. Page 1, to accept the minutes of the previous meeting, Wednesday, May 13th, and to confirm the next meeting date, Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. Okay. Pages 2 through 7.
Nothing of a controversial nature, Joe, so move.
Thank you, Kenny. So moving pages 2 through 7. All right, pages 8 through 9, a resolution regarding controller as custodian of the funds. Before we begin there, I just want to make some corrections. In the resolution, it refers on the top paragraph, the period commencing July 1st, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021. I'd like to make the correction that it's from July 1st, 2020 to September 30th, 2020. And the second correction is on paragraph E, the same correction, that it does not extend to June 30, 2021, but that this starts July 1st, 2020 to September 30th, 2020.
Joe will so note that, and we'll also move that.
Okay.
And that was John Dorsa from the controls.
Okay. So moved on that. All right. Page 10, a resolution extending the group life insurance plan for the members of the Police Pension Fund through June 2020.
All right, this is the usual yearly reading I will skip all the whereas to be it resolved. Rule 31, effective period of insurance. Each qualified member of the pension fund is to be insured as provided herein from inception, which is May 8, 1970, through June 30th, 2021, and during such effective period this insurance coverage shall constitute a contractual relationship, the benefits of which shall not be diminished or impaired. The Board of Trustees of the pension fund may, from time to time, extend the effective period of insurance by appropriate amendment to these rules and regulations.
PBA would like to so move the resolution.
No objections. Thank you very much.
Okay. Page 11, resolution regarding fiscal year 2021 proposed administrative budget and fiscal year 2021 proposed COPS project budget.
Stanley? Good morning, everyone. Board of Trustees.
I'd like to, Kevin, are you going to make comments on this before we have a motion?
Stanley was just going to read it off.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We ask the Board of Trustees that they shall adopt the budget consisting of the administration budget for fiscal year 21 in the amount of $23,077,121 and the fiscal 21 COPS 2.0 budget, which is the amount of $9,601,000. So the total fiscal year 21 budget would be in the amount of $32,678,121.
Great.
PBA would like to so move that resolution.
I'd like to second as the mayor's rep. We're in full support of the administrative budget for both the administrative budget and the COPS project budget, and want to thank staff for working very diligently to achieve the PEG reductions to assist the city during this financial crisis. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So Joe, in order to fulfill the statutory requirement, the controller is in agreement with the mayor on the budget.
And the PBA would like to thank both the mayor and the controller for approving and accepting the resolution. So thank you.
And police pension would like to thank everyone. We appreciate it.
Well, dang, what?
Very good. Now that we have the mutual back slapping here, let's go to the next discussion on the investment data feed. I believe this is Brian Berge.
All right. I'm here.
So
So this
explain the
issue
issue
has
of the
a
data
long
feed?
history.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So this issue has a long history at the board, beginning in late 2018. At that time, our affirmative litigation division, who oversees securities litigation matters, came to the board and requested a change to the securities litigation protocol with respect to the process by which cases are initially identified for prospective litigation. In very brief, they requested that the board change the protocol so that instead of relying on an external consultant to identify cases based on often incomplete and often not very well customized data, that we should instead create a process whereby existing pool counsel would have limited confidential access to trading data so that it could use that trading data and their knowledge of the space to more expeditiously identify securities litigation cases. This would, of course, spare the contract, which hadn't proved very useful with the consultant, and would spare and would increase the speed with which cases could be presented to the board and with which they could be identified. In late 2018, I believe in December 2018, after at least one round of discussion at the board level, this change was approved by the board with the board vote. However, before that change was actually implemented or begun, There was an unrelated, well, maybe somewhat related, you might say, issue on a securities litigation matter. Can't go into it in public, but there was an issue that caused PPF, among other boards, to request a delay of implementation of this change. And we honored that request, and over a period of months, undertook steps to address that issue and to kind of alleviate the concern of the boards about this related change with respect to the securities litigation protocol. That process took a while, but I will note that the vote itself from December 18th was never rescinded. It was just kind of placed, you might say, in abeyance. So the most recent development on that issue after the resolution of the separate issue was a pretty fulsome discussion of really the plumbing, the mechanics of how this protocol change would work with respect to the interface with the custodial bank and the types of data that the firms would review. And you should have, thanks to Nicole, a privileged December memo on that subject, which I have hoped everyone has had the opportunity to review. Now, recently we have indicated that we believe we are ready to proceed with the data feed because we believed that all concerns of the board have been met. I believe there was some, I don't know if disagreement is the right word, but if it is the right word, like, fine, that's totally fine. Disagreement as to whether another vote was needed at this time. We've always recognized the authority of the board on this subject, have really tried to meet the board and meet their concerns on this subject, and we're perfectly happy to get another vote on this protocol at this time, just to
Brian,
make
it's Susanna.
the documentary record on this subject.
Brian, it's Susanna. Can I interrupt just in terms of the procedure?
Yeah,
I don't think, you know, our office has been in discussion with the law department and, you know, has sort of mentioned the need just to go back to put this before the board. I don't think that, I agree that maybe we don't need a formal vote, but I think, you know, what the intention was just to make sure that the board is comfortable with going forward and implementing what the board had previously allowed for.
So, Susanna, I don't disagree with what you just
I guess
stated.
all I'm saying is I don't.
So I don't disagree
I'm
with
just
what
saying that
Susanna
if the
just
board
stated.
wants to take a vote on it, I have no objection to that. That's all I'm saying.
Brian, I think it's always safe that the board votes on it. You know, again, you know, there was a memo, like you said, in December. Now the board still held everything in abeyance until this is kind of finalized. So you can say it was in flux until everything was settled. So I think now the board, it's ripe for a vote by the board, right? Would you say?
Well, I mean, Joe, I have no objection to that, but I just do hope if you have like substantive objections, like we can talk about them. I have no problem with a vote to make the documentary record abundantly clear. I mean, I really don't.
So here are just two questions I have for you, and I like to get, you know, again, there's a memo like you referred to. There was some discussion. Without getting into any specifics, I just want to be clear. The boards were concerned over two, and I'm going to make it general, two issues with data feed. One was the potential reverse engineering issue that you seem to say has been taken care of. And the second is potential misuse of the data than what it was originally intended for. So are you telling me both issues are completely taken care of under this new, I guess, paradigm that you're operating under?
So, Joe, This is a slightly difficult discussion because I can't get into granular detail right now with you in public, as I'm sure you appreciate. But this whole last year has been on this issue, consumed with trying to address this issue of misuse, and steps have been taken to address this issue of misuse, which were detailed pretty extensively in prior memos. It is not, possible to stand here and tell you that no bad actor will ever exist, right? But I can tell you that the issue has been taken extraordinarily seriously. Concrete steps have been taken, and those concrete steps have been discussed with the board and are as protective as is reasonably possible in this area. With respect to the reverse engineering issue, that is largely, I believe, if I understand you correctly, it is largely addressed by the fact that this trading data that is going to be received for this purpose is not like a real-time glimpse into our at the moment holdings and our strategies, which would be, I understand, quite problematic for this board, but is a kind of dated look. It is not current, so to speak, and has very little value for anyone seeking to understand our proprietary strategies with respect to our trades and holdings. Also, that it's pretty similar to the information that at some point becomes public anyway. So those are the steps that we've taken, and those are the steps that we've discussed with this board really fulsomely in the past.
Okay, so I just want, again, I'm not trying to be difficult with you, but I just want to be clear because this came up, right? So I'm not making this up out of thin air. So I just want to be clear. With reasonable certainty, this data feed, considering what has happened in the past, and again, like you said, there will be bad actors, but hopefully the law will be able to deal with those bad actors, right? So I hope that you've crafted a way to ensure that absent someone who is acting outside of the law or within the contractual obligations of the law, that our information is protected and that it will not be misused in ways that we are not contemplating right now.
Yes, if with respect to people acting inside the confines of the law and contract, we are comfortable.
Okay, that's what I want to know. That's what I'm trying to say. You're giving us that feeling that you have completely attempted to protect our information as reasonably as you can, and I get that. You can't handle every potential situation, but so I just want to make sure that we're okay. Okay, so then maybe so I make a motion that we have a vote on this issue, that we accept the law department's representations.
You don't see anything obvious. You're not seeing anything obvious.
Dr. Kleiman, we hear your conversation.
He's awake.
So we have a vote. I have a motion on the table to accept the.
But you don't have any real obvious beliefs that that's what's going on here. That this is responsible for her hypocalcemia.
Dr. Kleiman, you're being heard.
Maybe we should just try to power through. Was there a motion on the floor?
Yeah.
Second by Kenny.
There's a motion to accept the.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm listening. It's a very poor connection.
The motion to move forward with the investment data feed has passed. Is there a motion on
She's
the
hypercalcemic. She's going as high as 15. They haven't found the source of the hypercalcemia. So one of the questions was, is it questionable ovarian cyst on CT, but it hasn't changed in over a year.
Nicole, I can't
So
hear
nobody
you only
thinks
because
that
Dr. Kleiman's on the line. I can't hear that either.
That's what I'm asking. Is you
Can the
examine her?
host
It's
mute
very hard to
him?
examine her when she has anasarca right now. But
Can we mute him?
this consult